Today's guest is someone who learned independence very early on. She found her voice through media and built a career by trusting her instincts and staying consistent. She navigated a male-dominated industry, created platforms for women of color, and continues to evolve on her own terms. This is Titi Torrez. Hey everyone, it's your girl Katherine Nunez, and today on Tales of a Latina, we love to highlight women who move the culture forward. Not always in front of the camera, but behind the scenes too. Titi Torrez is a radio personality, media strategist, and the founder of the Go Get Her movement, which creates access, mentorship, and opportunity for women in media and beyond. Everyone, please welcome the amazing, the incomparable Titi Torrez.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I want to apologize if I sound a little under the weather, like my voice is gone.
You're good.
It's winter time right now in New York. Not sure when this will be airing, but it's cold.
Yes.
And I just been so under the weather, but I knew how important this show was is to the culture. So I refuse to cancel today.
And I'm so grateful for you because I'm like, oh my gosh, she sounds sick. But no, you are amazing. You work really hard.
Thank you.
And we're so grateful to have you here on
Thanks
season 2.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thank you. And again, I apologize if I sound a little under the weather. But
no, you're good. I
did not want to cancel on you.
You are great. Now, on season 1, we had one of your very good friends, Honey German.
Oh, that is my sweetheart.
Yes.
That is my sister. She's in my wedding. That's how you know we're really good friends.
No, she spoke very highly of you. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so season 2, I got to bring Titi Torrez in.
Yes.
And we always start the show at the very beginning. So I'm going to ask you, what was baby Titi like?
You know what's interesting enough? I don't have a lot of memories of baby Titi. It's crazy because I don't. I think I don't have a lot of memories at all as a child. I grew up in a very traumatic household, very chaotic. I mean, my story is an open book. I've told it before, but I grew up in a very poverty-stricken home. So there was constantly moving in and out of apartments, houses, wherever we would get evicted out of. So I don't remember a lot of like baby Titi. Like I don't even recall seeing any hand baby pictures of me.
Wow.
Because obviously when you move a lot, you lose a lot. So I only have about maybe 2 pictures that I have of myself as a young adolescent girl. And I just don't have a lot of that, which is why probably now I take a lot of pictures of my, my child and create a lot of memories because I don't have that. I don't even have like birthday party pictures or like anything like that. So yeah.
So I mean, I know that a lot of times what we do as humans, a lot of our most traumatic experiences, we tend to forget and put them to the back burner.
Yeah.
But what would you say was like a moment where you started realizing, okay, it's time to like really start creating memories? Like well,
I could tell you, I've always been a very ambitious girl. So
very independent,
but very ambitious. Like, and I think that's two different meanings, right? Yeah. I can tell you through those traumatic experiences, I've always knew that I wanted to be great. Like I always knew, like I felt like I always had this deep spiritual connection, right? And so as a little girl, my mom always kept us in church. That's 2 things we always said we had as the Lord and church clothes. And so I can recall as a young girl being so connected to God. And even though I didn't have a lot, I always had that. And I always had this sense of like, keep going, this drive, this need to succeed, this ability to see past my environment.
Yeah.
And that was just like that was like a gift from God. Like literally, like no matter what happens to me, I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep going. And so I was always that type of
even at like a very young
at a
age.
very young age, I always identified and knew that. And we could have electricity out of the house, stomach turning. I would be like, I would have a book in a corner and the light, and I would read it. You know, when I had dirty clothes, I would need to go to school. I would put the dirty clothes on and just go to school. Like, I always just had that level of like tenacity and this level to want to just succeed.
Yes.
So that's the type of, when you ask me about baby TT or younger TT, that's the memories that stick out to me the most, and being able to visualize at a young age.
So you basically had to take care of yourself at a young age. Would you say that to be true?
Of course.
Because you moved around a lot.
You know, my mom was a Black woman. You know, my father is Puerto Rican. My mother is Black. I separated from my father at a very young age, and he had his own demons. And I reconnected with my older brother later on in life, like a few years ago, like right before the pandemic. So I got to understand him a little bit more through my brother, and he had an addiction to alcohol. So I always say this: my father had an addiction to alcohol, and my mother had addiction to love. So even though, like, I often say that, you know, my mother's choice of drug was this need to feel loved because of all the trauma she experienced at a young age, which carried on generationally with her kids. And so, so I spent majority of my life with my mom, and my mom had, I have 8 siblings in total. So being a single parent, you know, raising all those kids by yourself, you know, different baby fathers who had their own struggles and addictions. So you grow up, you're on an island by yourself, and even though you have siblings, like you basically raise yourself. Like when I was 14 years old, my mom dropped me off at my friend's house, and she just never came back.
Wow.
And that family, you know, took me in, and but at that moment, I knew, okay, I had to like sink or swim. Either I'm gonna go to school, get an education, go to college, make something of myself, or I'm gonna sink. So which one is it gonna be? And so I chose to just keep moving forward.
So you went to college, you finished, you did all that by yourself. You didn't have anybody pushing you. You were pushing yourself.
No, I've always pushed myself. And even though I lived at 14 with my friend's family, you know, I had their support, but I still had to push myself to say, hey, let me finish school. Let me get up. Let me not go to the streets. Let me figure this thing out. And so I graduated. I went to college. I found college radio when I was in school. I then decided, okay, this is a place where I feel like I belong and I can really excel at. So I became laser focused on that path. And I left Norfolk State. I went to Norfolk State University. I started doing really well on radio. I got my first gig, and then it was off to the races.
So, like, what pulled you to radio? Like, what was that? Like, when you got to college, you know, everybody's, like, trying to figure out what they want to do. Like, where am I going to be a doctor? Am I going to do radio? Am I going to do, you know?
Well, I think a few things pulled me into that. So when I was in Charleston, South Carolina, my mom moved. Okay, so let me just give you the backstory. My mom moved from New York.
Yeah, we want all the backstory, all of it. Because you said you moved around a lot, but what would you say is like the place that you connected with, that you would say, this is where I'm from?
I would say I spent my performative years in the South, in South Carolina.
Okay.
So that would be home, you know. So my mom, so I was born in the Bronx, right? My mom's family is from South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina area. When my mom was struggling in New York City, we were all in this 1-bedroom apartment, me and my other siblings. At the time, it was my mom, and I don't think she had my baby sister yet. It was like 6 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, I just remember like being so cramped up and sleeping with my siblings and one peed to bed every night. And I could just remember all the time, like, stop peeing in the bed because we all share the same space. Yeah. So my mom's sister was like, listen, why don't you move down south, because she got married, she lived down south. And my mom's family, that like her grandmother lived down south. So her roots were always down south. Like my mom's grandmother lived down south, but my grandmother lived in New York. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so we moved down there, but we struggled the most. And I say that to say is because down south didn't have a transit system. You had to have a car.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's different because the support, even though my aunt was like, move here, you're going to have the support, it was nothing like that.
Yeah, you don't have the independence.
Yes.
There's independence living in New York. You can literally go down the street and there's a grocery store, but down south is different. You got to drive everywhere.
And it's far apart, and like you have to walk, you know, blocks and distance, and like it was like, you know, we fell into this really great level of poverty. And so
how did you...
So wait, so to answer your question, I'm gonna get to your question. So I ended up, so my mom moved us down south from New York. We moved down south. I ended up graduating high school. But during my time in high school, my friend's mom, who I told you I stayed with, my mom dropped me off at my friend's house and I stayed there. She was a manager at a club, a nightclub. And so me and my friend, who's like my cousin, we always call each other cousins, we were waitresses at the club. And so the radio personalities from the radio station Z93 Jams used to come to the radio station. Used to come to the nightclub, and they would have free drinks and free bottles of alcohol and never pay for anything and would get paid to show up there.
Right.
And we would serve them like they were this big thing. And then like Little Kim and all these people would come to the club, the nightclub. So that's what kind of intrigued me of like, oh, I could do this. And then I got accepted into this program called Upward Bound, which is a program for people who come from my communities, under-resourced communities, to be able to do college tours and see life outside of like
your neighborhood.
So I remember going on a college tour, and one of the tours was like seeing a TV station. And then I was asking the person, like, how much do you make doing this? And when they told me how much they made, I was like, wow, you can really make money off of this? So that also intrigued me. And then it was, the morning show at the time was called, so ironically, there was this morning show host, The Breakfast Club, Tessa and Baby J. And by the way, Charlamagne's from the same area. So they would come to the club, and I asked them if I could see how they do radio. And so I went to the radio station, and I just was like, oh, wow, this is cool. Like, you could really get paid. So when I graduated high school and I went to Norfolk State, I got a job at the radio station, WNSB 91.1, doing the morning show, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then I would start my classes.
Wow.
From like 10 o'clock to the rest of the day.
And that's how you know closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Because you asked.
Yeah.
You were curious. You were inquisitive. Yeah. You wanted to know, how can I do this? And you got in the door. It wasn't easy, but like you asked and you were in. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Closed mouths definitely don't get fed. And that's kind of how I got my introduction into like, oh, I can make this. This can be a thing. And so it's ironic, but that's why I said God makes no mistakes, because a voiceless girl all of a sudden gets into a industry where she has a microphone.
Exactly. And you have a voice, and you're able to like, put people in position to tell their story, which you've been doing for years. So you found radio during college. You're now doing radio, like now you're working at this station in South Carolina. How did you keep up? How did you keep up with the discipline, the consistency that it required? Like, what was it that kept you going? Because it's easy to get discouraged in these spaces with all these big names and all these big people. And you're like, I get imposter syndrome? Like sometimes where I'm like, I don't belong here. But even though I know I do, because I'm just as talented, like, how did you overcome that?
I would say like it's interesting you asked that question because it's definitely not for the weak, right? This industry is definitely not for the weak. But like I said earlier, I always had a vision of seeing myself bigger. So whenever something would not go as what I thought would be planned, I just always got back up and kept going. You know, there were times that I would not get a job. You know, there were times that I would be fired from a job, budget cuts, whatever.
Right.
I would just get back up and keep going, you know? So I think I always just had this level of like, just stay on my path. Like, I don't care what's on the right. I don't care what's on the left. I don't care what's behind me. All I care about is what's in front of me. Like, how can I get better every day? How can my interviews get stronger? How can my executive skills be stronger? How can I like always keep evolving to being the best person that I could be? And listen, there are a ton of things that came in my path, a ton of things that I didn't think was going to work out. But and a ton of mistakes I made along the way.
Yeah.
So I don't want to act like
everything was perfect.
or
no.
I didn't make mistakes or I didn't have bad choices. But it's about how did you get back up from that? How did you talk yourself out of giving up? How did you just keep the will to keep fighting? And I don't know, it was just this gift.
When did you realize that your voice held weight?
It's so interesting you say that because it's so funny because I always get a kick out of like when people say that to me. I get a kick out of that. It's so ironic because I still get a kick out of when people come up to me like, oh my gosh, you don't understand. I love you. I like, I watch you move as an executive. I watch you move in front of the camera. It's like, oh my God, you don't understand how much your voice means. And I don't know if I ever get used to that, to be quite honest with you. Like,
I mean, you probably never will, but it's something you have to own into that.
I know, I'm still getting used to that.
Your voice holds weight. People respect you when your name is set, like TT, oh yeah, that's TT Torrez. Like, your name holds weight. Yeah. So anything you do or say, like, people are going to listen, they're going to pay attention.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the respect that I give people.
Yeah.
No matter where they at on the boards, I think it's the level of respect that I give people. And I don't try to like bullshit people. Can I say that?
You can say that.
Okay.
We can talk.
So like, if I can do something for you, then I'm gonna do it. If I can't do something for you, I'm gonna explain to you why. I'm going to have tough conversations with you, even if you don't like them. But at the end of the day, I'm going to respect you. And listen, have I always been the best at the delivery of that? No, but that's where growth comes in at, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you learn how to mature and you learn how to grow as a human. But I think the ultimate thing is just the respect that I give people. And that's why I think people respect me. Like, I'll come into the room and I'll speak to anyone. Like if you're holding the door for me, I'm going to say, hello, how are you? I just feel like that level of respect.
Would you say people trust you in this industry?
I would say so.
And like, what's a lesson that you feel you learned about trust in this industry? Because it's hard to trust people in the industry, and to gain someone's trust, especially these big names. And
I think, to your point, I think that sometimes, to my detriment, I trust too much, like because I can see potential in people, and I want to like bring them into my world because I there's a natural thing for me, especially when it comes to women, like especially young girls. I do a lot of work in young girls.
Yes.
With young girls.
With Go Get Her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll see someone that has potential and I'll be like, okay, like This is someone that I can see.
You're not a gatekeeper.
Right. This is someone that I can see. And that oftentimes, more times than none, people have excelled under my leadership more times than none. But the few that haven't, it's because of other people would identify like that person is not here to genuinely get help. That person is here because they don't want you to have what you have, but they want it for themselves. And so,
period. Yes, that is so true.
And the people that support, when you really support someone and you want to be down with someone, then you have to support. There can't be a hint of jealousy. It can't be a hint of, I want what that person has. It can't be a hint of that. And listen, jealousy is natural. That's a natural feeling, right? But that feeling can also be used as motivation.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that person is doing really, really well. And I want that for myself. So how can I use what that person is doing and become successful in my own lane without having to feel like I got to take this person down to have it?
Yeah. Or overstep or whatever
Right.
it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just be disrespectful in the process.
Yeah.
And so I think people trust me in that way because I'm going to keep it a buck. Or I'm going to have conversations with you. Even if you don't, even at the time that they don't make sense. But I've had so many people that have excelled under my leadership who were my interns or who were my, assistants or, more than, and that's what I try to look at, even with my Go Getter Foundation, right? And everything I do with young girls.
Yes. Where did the idea Go Get Her come from? But
So, and I'll talk about where that come from. But even with that, I understand now, especially that I'm getting older, is that I may not be able to impact everyone, but the ones that I impact is the ones that I focus on the most.
Yeah.
The ones that, didn't work out, we didn't work out for whatever reason, I throw those out the window and keep it.
Yeah, and you pray for them. You like, I'll pray for you, but I got to keep, because you got to keep moving and you got to keep going. You can't stop your show because someone is not getting the program.
Right. And so the Go Getter Foundation came about because I'm at a point in my career and I'm at a point in my life where it's not really about me anymore. I've made it to the #1 media market in the world. I had a lot of success. I've made a pretty decent life for myself. I've accomplished, is there more goals and dreams? Yes, absolutely. But I've accomplished pretty much everything in life that I wanted to accomplish, and I'm still going. So it's like, what can I do for others as I'm on this journey? Because it doesn't really matter how much you do if you're not
giving back,
impacting others. It doesn't matter. Like, you could have tons and tons of like #1s and money and this and that, but it's like, how are you helping others? How are you impacting others? And so the Go Getter Foundation was created based upon like, go out there and get it. And here's the tools to help you along the way. So I do my conference, my leadership summit every year. This year I did it at my alumni, Metropolitan College of New York in the Bronx. I had 350 girls come out, and it's a free event. I make it free for the girls. Breakfast and lunch. We do 2 panels, a discussion. We have some entertainment in there, and we give them like game that they can walk away, like self-love and leadership. What does that look like to love yourself and to overcome your trauma so that you can be the best leader you can be, not just for yourself, but in life, right?
Right.
And then building a plan. Like, what's your career path? How do you identify your potential? How do you identify your purpose? What is that like? And really understanding how to find it. And so I don't just create these summits to just like have,
No, there's a purpose behind it. You want to ignite something in these girls so that they can pursue their dreams just like you pursued yours under the, like, you had a tough life. It wasn't easy for you. And there's so many women that relate to that, but they don't know how to they don't know how to even get started.
And then I also have this beauty and wellness workshop where it's beauty inside out. It's a makeup tutorial, but we focus on inner beauty. So, it's two sisters that I love dearly. They own a makeup mobile beauty truck in Queens, Make Me Over, Natasha and her sister.
Okay. I love that. Make Me Over.
Yeah, and they own a beauty truck, Natasha and Candy. And so they do these, so they're makeup artists, but what we teach them is, like, one of the sisters was an advocate and worked for, like, I forgot exactly what it was, but the crimes unit against women.
Okay.
So she's a therapist also. So, and her whole work has been about, women and mental health and all of that stuff. She used to work for, like, a DA office in Queens, right?
Okay.
And so we teach them, like, it's not about the outer beauty. Yeah, the outer beauty can be together, but, like, the foundation. You
gotta be good inside.
Yeah, it's like, so your foundation we put in your face, how does that correlate with your foundation, your inner beauty? And the girls get to ask questions, and and it's really, like, beautiful. And then we did a step show with, like, these girls from the Bronx who are amazing. They win competitions all over the place, and so they provided, like, entertainment, and so it was just a really good event. And the goal is so that they can walk away saying, I've learned something today. I feel empowered. What can I do with that?
And it's all about how people feel when they leave. If you feel empowered and you feel like you're ready to go get it done, that's the most important thing. And that's the best investment I feel like anybody can make in themselves.
Yeah.
Now, I want to get into a little bit of culture, because I know you Puerto Rican, but you also have Black. And I want to talk about what are some of the similarities that you see between Black and Puerto Rican women navigating media. Because, you've been in this media. You represent both cultures. So tell me what that responsibility means to you, and, what's some of the similarities that you see, if any, or differences.
That's a really good question. I think the similarities within, the Latin music industry and the hip hop industry is kind of the same. The macho-ness that comes with the male-dominated business on both ends. And it can be tough, and women can feel really dismissive. And when you look at the executive, how many women are in executive positions compared to the counterparts, it's not an even playing field. And so when you think about that alone, it's like we're in the same struggle, right? Because it's such a male-dominating business, and you have to figure out what's your superpower and how do you cut through that.
Yeah. And, like, okay, so let's talk a little bit about last night's performance with Bad Bunny. Yes, Super Bowl. I feel like he did such a good job at colliding cultures. Like, you see how Afro-Latinidad was, like, that's, like, the main thing. Like, that's where we come from. Mm-hmm. And America is just, we're here. We're trying to prove ourselves. I feel like we don't have to prove ourselves, but how do you feel about that performance? What was your take on it?
I thought it was beautiful. If you are a consumer of Bad Bunny, if you follow him throughout the years, you always understood what Bad Bunny's mission was, which is to highlight the injustices that poor people go through in America. And Puerto Rico is American territory, despite the ignorance of some folks on the internet. So he's always been very vocal about his love for Puerto Rico, his love for his people, his desire for folks to see what the impossible could be. What the impossible can be. The best moment for me is when he took the Grammy and he gave it to the little boy.
Yes.
And that message to me was like, any young person watching, look at everything that I became because I just believed. And that is more powerful than anything. When you can impact the minds of young people. And that's what I try to do with the Go-Getter mission.
Yes.
Because we're going to get older, we're going to die, that's part of life. But the goal is to impact the minds of the young people so that they understand that if you believe in yourself and if you put in the work and you do right by others, no matter how hard it is, look where you can become. Look at what you can become if you just believe in that. And it's so hard to stay focused in that because we live in a society now where everything is so exposed on social media. Everything is for likes and clicks and algorithms and this and that and what this person's doing and that person's doing and am I good enough? Am I not good enough? You live in such a world where it's a lot of pressure on the younger generation.
It is.
Because when we were growing up, you can get into something at school, right? And it just be at school. And we see you the next day. What's up? Leave it at that, right? Something happened at school with this generation.
It goes all over social media. It's plastered everywhere. You have
never turned off.
Yeah.
It's never turned off. So when you can do something like that and impact the minds of young people and help them to understand their superpower and to believe in themselves, I think that is the most beautiful thing a person can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bad Bunny, what he does for us, what he's doing, I don't think anyone has the balls to do it. I mean, we saw it with Kendrick Lamar last Super Bowl, and that was amazing. And now with Bad Bunny, it's just like...
And don't get it twisted. The NFL is not dumb. They understand that in order to take football global, like basketball is a global phenom. What Michael Jordan was able to do for basketball was take the game of basketball to an international level. That's a different type of consumer. What soccer is able to do on an international global stage.
They know.
They understand the impact of what Latin America has on the pocket. Like, so it's they're not dumb. You know what I mean? Like, you need Latin America to hit that revenue stream that you're trying to hit, because football is still a very dominated American sport. It's not as big globally as what soccer has done, what basketball has done, so they're not stupid either. So don't get it twisted. They're not stupid. They understand the power of the Latin dollar.
Yeah. But they also knew to throw Lady Gaga in there. They was like, let's throw Lady Gaga in there, make sure we get that all-American crowd. I feel like, I mean, I love Lady Gaga, and I think she
I think that was more of a Bad Bunny thing than an NFL thing.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I felt like Bad Bunny understood, because, listen, Bad Bunny
He's so smart. He is strategic, too.
But not only that, Bad Bunny really genuinely is for bringing people together.
Yeah, he is.
So he's not anti-anything but love and unity. Yeah. Like, that's always been his thing.
And they try to make it seem like he is an anti-American.
You can't be anti-American when you are American.
Yeah.
And he speaks about the struggles of America.
Yeah.
He's an American. Regardless of him speaking Spanish, he's an American.
Yeah.
And
I love how he was like, y'all gotta learn Spanish. I'm not doing no he didn't do no Spanish translations, nothing. Like, he was like, learn the language today.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of America.
Yeah.
Do you understand how many people in America that is bilingual or, speak other languages or don't speak English? Like, but not just in America, but globally.
It's global. I mean, there was Europeans that speak, it's only Italian that don't speak a lick of English or a lick of Spanish, and they were like tuned in.
Yeah.
This was definitely an international move.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, all right, let's get into, now I want to get into a little bit of fun.
Okay.
The quick chisme. This
Okay.
is a rapid fire segment where I ask you.
I need a drink.
Oh, okay. Yes, you do. You need a little drink. Because we do have some stuff. We're going to talk about, your growth, what you're doing now, what you're currently doing. But I want to have some fun before we get into it. So with this, I'm going to ask you a question. You just answer as fast as you can.
Okay.
And this
Can't
is called,
think about it. Okay.
Yeah, you can't think about it. We have a little leeway here on Tales of a Latina, but as quick as you can. So quick chisme in 60. Bronx mornings or late nights?
I used to be late night, but now I'm mornings.
You're a morning girl? Okay.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm a morning girl. I don't like being up late. Quiet power or loud impact?
Quiet power.
I feel like that's texting or voice notes?
Texting, for sure.
Sneakers or boots?
Hybrid of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curator or creator?
Both.
Vision boards or winging it?
I'm actually a hybrid of both. I do vision boards and sometimes I wing it.
Okay. One word people misuse about you?
Ooh, that's a good one. Tough.
Tough?
Yeah.
They say you're tough, or they
say I'm tough,
but you're not. Or you can be, but
I would say no. Tough. They would say I'm tough, but I would say passionate.
What's your sign?
Leo.
I'm a Cancer. You're okay, so July Leo or
August Leo.
That's right. I went to your birthday party. I was at her birthday party. She had a 90s pajama jam this year.
Fun,
it was
right?
fun. I had so much fun. All right. Self-care looks. What does self-care look like for you lately?
Ooh, a good book. Going to bed on time at night. I love reading. So yeah, like a good book. And
what's your favorite book to read right now? Or what's a book that you suggest people should read right now?
Okay, so it depends on what do you want to get into. Like I'm reading Beyonce's mom's new book, Tina Knowles' new book, The Matriarch. I just finished Mel Robbins' book, Let Them Theory.
I love that.
Yeah, that was a good book. And then Sunny from The View. She has these series.
Which one is she?
She's a Latina.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's
she, it's two of them, but she's the one with the curly. Well, sometimes curly.
I feel like you need to be on The View. Get her on The View.
I would love that one.
Get TT Torrez on The View. Yes, I could see you on there.
But she has these books called, like one is The Bluffs. She has these series.
Okay.
All her books are amazing. It's like historical fiction. Oh, and there's another historical fiction writer I love, Victoria Christopher Murray. She just dropped a book called The Harlem Renaissance.
I love.
I read that book in a day. It was amazing. And she did another book called The Personal Librarian. Her books are amazing.
Are they like novella type? Like
no.
Oh, well, I mean, like Bridgerton. Like, are we gonna see some Bridgerton vibes?
Well, you know what? It depends on it depends on how you take it, because there is some good scenes in it. Like I love books where like I can visualize in my mind what the scenes are, and I like to like lick the pages and fold it. I don't do like the audio books. That's not me. But no, they're really good. Both of them are really good. And some of them have some like spicy scenes in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, leadership or legacy?
I think they go hand in hand.
Because without leadership, you don't have legacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What drains you the fastest?
What drains me?
If anything. Like, what's like the thing that you're like, oh, I can't deal with this.
I cannot deal. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like,
procrastination.
Yes, me too.
Let's go. Let's get it done.
Let's get it going. Like, my friend's daughter would say, "Can you hurry up and get to the point already?" She's like 9 years old. She's like an adult. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Can we get to the point already?
These kids nowadays,
they're so smart and
they don't like to talk much.
Yeah.
Like my son is like, "Mom, all right, I got it. I don't need it twice."
Right. And we're gonna get into motherhood in a little bit after this game, but. The last rapid fire question is, what fills your cup immediately?
Good vibes. Good friendships.
Okay.
Yeah. I love a good vibe. I love getting on the phone with my girlfriends and having a good vibe, or going for a cocktail, having a good meal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of those people, like, I can literally, let's meet at like 4:00 and let's be home by 6.
That's me. I don't like to do late nights anymore. I'm an early girl. Catch me at brunch. Catch me happy hour. I want to be home by 8 p.m.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that for you, and I love that for myself.
Yeah.
That fills my cup up immediately.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So we just got done with the Quick Cheeseman 60, which you were amazing on. And I just want to say you are killing this interview. Like, you're just navigating through it. I guess it comes from just having that je ne sais quoi, from interviewing so many amazing guests.
Yeah. Well, it's this thing that I've learned a long time ago is controlling the art of the interview. It's like controlling the interview. And I learned that mainly by navigating some of the toughest interviews, like someone like a Wendy Williams, right?
You interviewed Wendy Williams?
Yeah. Like, I've actually spent time with her on set when she had her talk show. I did Hot Topics. I filled in for her when she was out a few times. And, just interviewing her throughout my career. I've known Wendy since the radio days. And so one of the greatest things about her is, like, when she sits in your chair, she controls the interview to the point it's like you barely could get a question in. But then I learned the first time, I'm like, dang, she just took over my interview. And then, as I gotten better, as I gotten older, I've learned the art of controlling the interview, the conversation. She's so good at that. And another person who's really, really good at that, believe it or not, two people. One is Oprah, if you study her.
Yeah.
She's amazing at that, and 50 Cent.
I love 50. He's a Cancer like me. We're like just Cancer bros. I'm one of the bros when it comes to 50. I'm his I'm like, you're my older brother somewhere. I don't know where, but you're related to me.
It's that Cancer thing. But 50 will, I remember interviewing him in my career, and I remember like this guy is just like taking over my interview. And I'm like, so I had to
you had to think quick.
And so, throughout the years, I've learned how there's an art to that, how to
So who is some of your favorite people to interview? Like, who have you interviewed? You've interviewed many people.
Who I could say President Barack Obama was amazing. When I was doing radio down south.
That's a flex, by the way. That's a flex.
In Virginia was a very important market for him. And so at that time I was on a radio, iPower 92.1, and I did an interview with him when he was the president. That was really cool. Actually, I want to find that audio. Like, I don't think I didn't post that interview because they wouldn't let me post it.
Why not?
I don't know. Their team was like, no posting on socials, the interview.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I respected it so he was president. So it's two different types of interviews you got from Barack. Like, in the beginning, when he was running for senator, when he was senator running for president, like, there's this free for all where you could just kind of like ask him what you want. But me, I'm always kind of respectful with what I want to ask, and I have like, a list of things I want to talk about. And then when he became president, his communications team was like, hey, he's running again for the second term. Virginia is still an important market. We would like for him to come on your show. We know that you have the biggest radio platform in that DMV area. We would like him to come on. So I'm like, okay, cool. And so they call you like ahead of time, and you submit your questions, and then leading up, you get like 5 or 6 phone calls. It's like a big deal, a huge deal. But he's the president of the United States of America.
Yeah, it's not like
and of course he's the first black
president. Yeah.
So they're not gonna just let someone wing conversations with him. So I get on the phone with him. He calls into the show. He knows everything about me. Hi, TT. How's that beautiful baby boy you just had? And I'm like, how does he even know I just had a baby? Like, it's crazy how much research they do on you.
Yeah, because they want to make sure.
Yeah. And so that was a really good one for me. Mary J. Blige was another one of my favorites because she's always just so cool and open. But I also like the non-celebrities that I get to chat with who just have regular conversations, I've had a ton. Wow. Some dead, some not even here anymore.
Who isn't here anymore?
Oh, DMX. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Shorty Low from Atlanta. Yeah.
That's amazing. You've had a great...
Irv Gotti.
Irv Gotti.
Yeah.
I love Irv Gotti. Yes.
Irv was a super sweet person. I've never had, you know, some people have had good experiences with Irv. Some people have had bad experience with Irv. But I've always had the best experience with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, looking back, you've been in this male-dominated industry for a long time. What would you say is like one of the most pivotal moments in your career besides the Barack Obama interview? Because I feel like that's huge. But like for you personally, like what's something that you felt like, okay, I've made it. Like I know I've made it.
I don't feel like I've made it yet.
I feel like you're still evolving and
I don't think I'll ever feel like I've made it. Like I feel like growth is a long-lasting thing. I feel like, you know, I've had milestones, I've had great moments, you know, getting into the #1 media market in the world, which is New York City. That was a huge accomplishment, you know, doing radio in Richmond, Virginia, which is a smaller market. And to be able to make that leap to the #1 media market in the world and to have, you know, been in such a competitive space and having an incredible career in that space.
And doing this while being a mother.
Yeah, and a wife.
And a wife,
yeah.
Which is not easy because you have to balance.
Get back up again, shake the dirt, make it your friend, fell 7 times, rise up 10. Get back up again, get back up again, shake the dirt, make it your friend, fell 7 times, rise up 10. Get back up again. Stumble through a forest of doubt, every cheat tried to shut me out, but I called my name, now I'm loud, the wind howled. You can't stay, but I walked right into the fray. Shake the dirt, make it your friend, fell 7 times, rise up 10. Get back up again, get back up again. Shake the dirt, make it your friend, fell 7 times, rise up 10. Get back up again.